Hello Stampin' Friends, I'm Christina Reese. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and this is my channel, Creating with Christina. Tonight I will be making a card with the new Time for Tea and matching Thinlit dies. I want to get that up close for you so you can see it. Alright, the lighting is not very good. Sorry about that, but there's no glare. I am making tonight's card with a color challenge for this week. Hashtag CWK62218. Be sure to check out my blog for more details at www.creatingwithchristina.com. Our colors for this week are Fresh Fig, Bermuda Bay, and Pear Pizzazz. I found a piece of DSP also that matches beautifully. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And this DSP paper, this designer series paper, comes from the Tea Room suite, which is the suite that this stamp set comes from. So you can see how the flowers, it's not the exact colors. These are different colors, but they coordinate. So it's really pretty. Put that to the side. All right, let's clear off the space here and let's get to work. All right, my card is going to start with Fresh Fig, a Fresh Fig card base. And I've cut this 5.5 by 8.25 and 8.5 and scored at 4.25. I've cut the designer series paper 4 inches by 5.25. I want to attach that with my little snail. And I know there are some people who are very conservative with their tape runners, but I am not. I want to make sure this baby stays. Okay. And just eyeball it, get it all centered. There it goes. I like to turn it over and give it a good squish. There we go. All right, that's attached. Now, then I cut a piece of Pear Pizzazz here at 1.5 by 4, and I need to attach that. Down here at the bottom. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to set this aside. Now, to create my focal point, I'm going to do some stamping here. The first stamp is the teacup, and I'm going to do the teacup in the Bermuda Bay. So let me pull that off. Now these are photopolymer stamps, so you want to make sure you have a foam pad underneath. We call this a piercing pad. Anyways, you definitely want that underneath so that you get a good image. So let me first attach it to my block there and get my ink. And there we go. Okay, just a tap, tap, tap. Don't need too much. Whoops, only need one piece of paper to do this, all right. And down and up. Beautiful. Couldn't get any better. All right. Also, we have a new stamp cleaner. These are called the chamois. Anyways, they're purple. When they come, they're all clean. As you use it, the ink stains it, but it doesn't transfer, so it doesn't get on your finger at all. Anyways, and you just put your stamp in there and you just kind of wiggle it a little bit so it gets down in the grooves, but it's real thick, so it gets in all those little crevices. So that's beautiful. All done. All right, the other stamp I'm doing is these leaves here. Here we go. And this is really fun. So this is the detailed stamp of the leaves here that I'm going to use first. But then it also comes with the filler stamp. I call it the filler stamp. I don't know what its official name is. I'm going to take this teacup off of here and use this one. All right. So we've got the filler stamp and we've got the detailed leaf stamp. And I want 2 of those because I want them on either side of my focal point. And I'm doing those in Pear Pizzazz. So let me put the Bermuda Bay away. Okay, so I'm going to have my detail part is pretty dark. So and I'm going to, okay, and then do it again. All right, now this filler, so what you do, and it's going to line up, so you can see it pretty easy. There's these two little leaves, which would be these two right there. Excuse me. All right, I'm going to do what we call the stamp off method. So what I'm doing is I'm first stamping down on some scratch paper to get most of the ink off of this stamp, and then I'm placing it where I want it, so I get a lighter color. And see, now you can still see the detail in there. Isn't that neat? So we call that the stamp off method. So we're just stamping off, and then we line it up where we want it and stamp. There we go. Was my head getting in the camera? Hope not. Oh well. Okay, there, perfect. Okay, let me use my little cleaner over here. All right, put that away. Now, we need to cut these out. Oh, we also need to put our ink away. Always close your ink. So many accidents happen with open ink cases. All right, I'm going to put my stamping pad away. I don't need that anymore. But I'm going to be using what we call the Big Shot, and if you've not seen a Big Shot, this is the Big Shot, and all you do is you run this sandwich that I'm going to make through this with the crank, and it cuts it beautifully. So I'm just going to put that over there for a minute. Let me create this first. All right, my first, I'm using a magnetic pad. I put my cutting plate down, the plate that I want the metal to go into, and I'm putting my images that I want to cut. So there's my teacup, and because it's a metal plate, it sticks on there and stays in place. And then I only have one to cut out one of the leaves at first, so we'll just put that on there. Kind of line it up the best you can. All right. Put your cutting plate back on. I mean your, oh, you don't want the paper to stick off the side. There we go. Let's move that over a little bit. Okay. So we call that a sandwich. Just bring this Big Shot right here, and we stick that in there. Okay, everything looks good, and crank away. All right. And we have a pretty little teacup in China Blue, Bermuda Bay, and we have one set of the leaves. All right, now I need the other set of leaves, but I also am going to make a circle out of the Bermuda Bay to put this behind. Okay, let's get you on there. And this is the Bermuda Bay, and here is the little circle die that goes with this set. There we go. I'm just sticking that there. And again, just sandwich it in there. And I'm just push it through. I know you can't see me, but it's the exact same thing that I just did. So there we go. And now I have a beautiful doily circle. Isn't that pretty? Okay. And another leaf set. All right. This is going to be a pretty card. Okay, let's put all my dies back. Don't want to lose those. You know, when you leave them out on your craft table, they disappear. Those are all put back. Don't need any of these scraps. Throw all this away. And put my cutting plate away. There. All right, let's get back to making a card. All right, bring my base back. There we go. And we're going to assemble this. Now, I also have the ribbon that goes with this suite. And like I said, this is all found on page 14 in the catalog. Let me show it to you real quick. It's so pretty. So here it is, if you can see that. And the suite includes this copper tin. These are copper vinyl stickers. It has 2 ribbons. One is in the Coastal, what is that? Coastal Cabana, and then the other one is in a vanilla white that I have right here. It has Memory and More cards, so those 3x4 journaling cards and 4x6 cards for the 6x8 or the 12x12 scrapbook pocket pages that we sell. And a lot of people just use these to make cards. The designer series paper, and if you can see, there's the one that I'm using. And it also has a cardstock pack that includes the Calypso Coral, the Coastal Cabana, and the Very Vanilla. And then also the dies. So that is what we call the Tea Room Suite. And it's really elegant and really beautiful. All right, let's put, my ribbon, get the ribbon. Here we go. Now, I have a trick for attaching ribbon so that it sticks out on both sides here like I want. I turn my item over that I'm going to have the ribbon behind, and I give myself a couple of good swipes of the snail. Now, I want to make sure my this circle has points on it that I want lined up. So that's what this grid paper is so wonderful for lining that up. So now we just simply stick the ribbon there, and then I bring it back over, stick it there, and I bring it back over, and I want it about the same, just eyeballing it, about right there. All right. And now the ribbon sticks out. Isn't that cool? Whoops, don't stick it down. I'm not ready to go down yet. Okay, and I'll trim off the extra ribbon there in just a minute. I also want to attach these leaves on here. So I want this set of leaves up here in this corner and kind of with a little bit of the ribbon, and this one down here in this corner down here. All right, so I'm going to put adhesive here and adhesive here, and then flip it all over again so I can see what I'm doing. All right, I want that like right there. Yeah, I'm going to make sure that I don't go past the card, the width of the card. There we go, that looks good. All right, just squish that down. And then this side, same thing. Just kind of eyeballing it. That looks good. There we go. Okay. No, that didn't quite do right. Ooh, it's very sticky. There we go, that's a little better. Okay. All right, so now I have that. And my final touch. So first I need to attach this, and I, of course, dimensionals, love dimensionals. So stick those all over this. And I'm going to put them on the flowers so that the flowers have extra adhesive. This ribbon did not get in front of the leaves, so I'm going to weave that back underneath there. There we go, that's better. And one more dimensional here. Okay, and take all those off. Okay, and well, oh, I wanted the ribbon straight, not the leaves. Okay, there we go, that's better. Okay, and now I can trim these, the ribbon here so it's not hanging off the edge. And there we go, beautiful. And then for the teacup, of course, it's got to have a dimensional too. So even though this paper is really Coastal Cabana, see how the Bermuda Bay just goes with it so well? It's so pretty. All right, and now our little teacup is just going to be centered here in the middle. All right, there we go. And now, our very last piece, our sentiment. Now, I'm going to do something really special here. Put this card to the side, and I am going to heat emboss my sentiment in white. And it's going to be really pretty. Before I do that, though, first, I want to create a flag tail here on one end. And so the way I do that is I cut up the center just a wee bit, And then from the corner to where the top of the cut is, and the other side. All right, and there you go. You have a little flag tail. Simple. And I'm not doing the other side because I'm attaching this to the edge of the card. All right, I'm doing embossing. Embossing, you need Versamark, you need embossing powder, you need the ever most magical embossing buddy, and you need a heat gun, a heat tool. So I've got my heat tool over here. Let me get it so it's not gonna knock anything over. There we go. All right, and one more thing. I always keep a little teeny tiny little paintbrush, so if any of the powder sticks besides where the Versamark image is, I can just gently brush it away. But that's what this embossing buddy's for, so that doesn't happen. But sometimes it still does happen. All right, so just take my little embossing buddy, and all this does is give it, take the static off of it. Yeah. All right, that looks good. Oh, and I need my stamp. All right, so this time I'm using, there's a greeting, cheers. So I'm putting that on my card. There we go. Okay, so get some good Versamark on there. And line it up pretty good. Yeah, I think I'm going to go closer to the edge than the center. There we go. Ooh, I should have done that on the mat, on the piercing pad, on the foam mat, but it looks like it did okay. All right, move that over there. Okay, now we take, okay, I don't need all my filters, just one little coffee filter is enough. And what this is going to do is catch all the extra powder so it doesn't get everywhere. All right. And here's my powder. Okay. And give it a couple of twaps. Oh, see? Didn't stick anywhere but except where that is. Okay. Awesome. One more thing I forgot to say, always close your Versamark ink before you do powder. I had my older stamp set, and I blew, and I was doing this, and I got blue embossing powder in my Versamark, and so every time I used it, I got blue. So yeah, want to make sure that's closed before you start messing with flyaway powder. Oh, and then the extra powder just slides on down back into its little thing there. Isn't that great? Waste not, want not. Okay. I have a pair of tweezers here to hold my paper because a heat gun is extremely hot. Okay, and you do not want to burn your little fingers. Now, this will get, it'll start to melt, and you'll see it start to get shiny. All right, there it goes. Starting to. Can you see that? Isn't that pretty? Okay. And once it's all shiny, you know you're done. That was super fast. And of course, you want to, whoa, clear it off. I mean, cool it off, not clear it off, cool it off. And we are ready for the very final part of our card here. Okay, I see some embossing buddy on there though. I'm just gonna, yeah. There we go, that looks nice. And of course, more dimensionals. There's one, and whoops, I don't need two of them there. Two. And I don't center it. I'm putting it a little bit to the top of the pear pizzazz. There we go. Ah, what do you think? Is that not the most beautiful card? Let me use my bone folder and get my crease nice. I'm going to use the back. There we go. Okay. Cheers. I hope you liked it, you guys. Now, remember, be sure to check out my blog, Time for Tea Color Challenge, hashtag CWK62218. And if you like this card, you should sign up for my newsletter too, because I always include exclusive project tutorials that only my subscribers see. So that's something you'd want to do if you like cards and card tutorials, or even scrapbook tutorials too. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. And if you did like it, please give me a thumbs up. Good night, goodbye, and until next time.